Hello everyone, it's SpursBuddy96 here, and welcome to the 13th episode of the FIFA 18 Zenit St. Petersburg career mode. We begin today's episode with the return of football for Zenit St. Petersburg after the winter break. For the Europa League, that is, where we will be facing one of the top Greek clubs, Olympiacos, in the first knockout stages of the Europa League round 32 stage. A very intimidating place. Of course, Manchester United in 2014 in the past have lost away at Olympiacos, so this will be a tough place to play against. As you can see, we've got some player debuts from either team. Someone called B. Engels, who's transferred from Club Brugge for £9.5 million for Olympiacos, and Alsof Areola, our new number one goalkeeper we brought from Paris Saint-Germain for France for £26 million. If you haven't checked out the last episode, I suggest you do so, where basically we just did a little quick overview of January, of the transfer window, as well as who will be facing who in the Europa League knockout stages, as well as the Champions League, so check that out. For today's team, of course, Alphonse Areola, our new number one goalkeeper after sadly Lunev departed for Chelsea, will be making his first start for the club, and Nabelin has to come in for as the first choice left back, as Cressito was gone, sadly left for Leicester City. And Nabelin has been promoted to the first team, so hopefully he can put on a good performance. We come on to the first half highlights, approaching the 12th minute. And we started very, very well on the front foot, really determined to break them down and create chances. Coquelin has laid it to Druzy. That wasn't far away, and Sebastian Druzy knows it. He likes scoring goals in the Europa League. I think he scored 3 to 4 at least in the Europa League, and that was a very, very close effort there from Druzy. Almost went in, and we nearly took the lead. And now Olympiacos have a chance now, and here goes Karim. Karim has a chance. Great save from Areola on his debut, the first real contribution he's made in some Zenit St. Petersburg colours. Approaching 22 minutes there. We come on to the 35th minute. They've given away Olympiacos. Now it's Parades. He's laid it to Coquelin. Wonderful through ball towards Rigoni, who's charging down the right. Rigoni, a save by Proto, and Druzy can't finish it off. I thought Druzy should and probably needed to score, really, for his confidence. Of course, he only scored against Rosenborg BK in Europa League, I believe. And wow, a clear-cut chance there, but Druzy couldn't quite stretch his legs to get it. But Coquelin lays it to Druzy. Druzy twists and turns with his dazzling feet, and he scores! And Zenit St. Petersburg take the lead against Olympiacos on their home ground, just coming up to 44 minutes. A huge goal that kicks off the tie of the Europa League round 32 stage. Druzy has scored for Zenit St. Petersburg in the Europa League once again. Great pass from, I think it was Coquelin. Look at Druzy. Lovely twist and turning feet there with his skills. Fantastic dribbling skills there he's got. And thrashes the ball on his left foot. And the keeper absolutely had no chance there. Pardo, I think he's called. Excuse me. And I've got a bit of a cough, so I apologise. My voice isn't at best in this episode. But Sebastian Druzy's got his third goal in the Europa League, and crucially, Zenit St. Petersburg take the lead in this tie by 1-0 away at Olympiacos. And there goes the half-time whistle. Arguably, we could have been maybe 2-3 up with those chances. A very close chance from Sebastian Druzy, which almost went in. And then, of course, Rigoni, who good save from Pardo, but Druzy couldn't quite get in. So Druzy, in theory, could have had a hat-trick, and this tie could have been over already. But we've been absolutely fantastic against the Greek champions. And the scoreline certainly doesn't reflect that, but we do lead 1-0. We come up to the second half highlights, approaching the 51st minute. Great cross, I think it was Druzy, in towards Alexander Coquelin in the chance, and he's at the post. And they clear their lines to Olympiacos. We almost had it 2-0. We should be really 3-5 up at this stage. We still keep coming forward in the 53rd minute. Coquelin's going to take a chance again, and he drills it into the net. And Zenit St. Petersburg extend their lead here at Olympiacos, and he dabs away, does Alexander Coquelin, one of the most sought-after strikers in Europe in game at the moment, with the likes of Barcelona, Valencia, and the great AC Milan and Schalke all monitoring him. That just shows you why they're monitoring him. A thundercracker out the box from Alexander Coquelin after his earlier chance at the post. And Alexander Coquelin has scored yet again, and we're absolutely delighted that he is continuing his scoring spree. His first goal, of course, for 2018 in-game. Alexander Kokorin's got his 4th goal in the Europa League on 55 minutes, and it's now Olympiacos 0, Zenit St. Petersburg 2. Could that be game over already for Olympiacos in this tie? We come on to the 78th minute. What a pass it is to find Botta. Now here's Fortunas, and he's laid it towards Karim! And Karim has scored. It's not over yet. Olympiacos have got themselves back into the game, and Karim gets the ball out in the net and tells his teammates to rush back to the centre circle to get started immediately. They feel that they can maybe get something out of this. They feel they can maybe get a point and take this tie to Zenit St. Petersburg with the game lovely balanced for this tie. Karim and Safarad has got his first goal in the Europa League, and it's 2-0 again, 2-1 now for Zenit St. Petersburg. So yeah, can we hold on and get 3 points? But we've already got to the perfect start. We're already coming forward, creating chances straight away. Rigoni with his twists and turns and his pace and power running ability doing the job. Witzel gives it to Paredes and deflects off the defensive English Ojala. And it is a corner kick to Zenit St. Petersburg straight away after the restart. Olympiacos making an immediate change, maybe to try and get themselves back into the game. Corner kick, and it's getting in off Fortunas, and Witzel has put it in. I don't know if it was Fortunas, but Witzel has put it in, and it's 3-1 to Zenit St. Petersburg. An immediate response after Olympiacos scored the goal to put themselves back in the tie. Could that be now game over for Olympiacos? We're at 3-1 up, great corner. Yeah, it came off, I think it was Fortunas or Rigani maybe a clash of heads, and it just, Witzel was in the right place at the right time, excuse me, and Witzel heads it in. I think it's his first header actually I've never seen him head the ball actually in game, and yeah, he did a fantastic job. Witzel, of course, the new club captain after Crescito is left for Leicester City, and the captain scores his 2nd goal of the Europa League, and it's Zenit St. Petersburg now who are in total control of his tie, 3-1 up at Olympiacos. And there goes the final whistle. A hugely deserved victory for Zenit St. Petersburg. The first half, we absolutely thrashed them to pieces. If it wasn't for those, we just couldn't quite tuck away the chances we were creating. So many chances we were creating. Druzy could have had a hat-trick. Kokorin could have scored maybe 2 goals as well, and we probably could have scored maybe 5, 6, 7 maybe. He was that dominant, but they held their nerve. Olympiacos, they got themselves back in the game, but we managed to finish the tie off, and Olympiacos, that is, we leave here 3-1 up at Olympiacos. And we will return for the 2nd game of the episode, for the return leg of the Europa League here at the Krastovsky Stadium, the first knockout football match here at the Krastovsky Stadium, and the fans have turned up in their thousands to cheer us on. So even if we draw, or even if we lose, say 1-0, or if we draw, or if we win, it doesn't matter which result, as long as we will still progress to the round of 16 of the UEFA Europa League, providing that is, if Olympiacos does win, of course it will be our first defeat of the season. Of course, we've got some other ones here. Engels, of course, we now got someone called Touch Sides, who was transferred from Italian side Torino for £6.5 million. He makes his first start for the club. And yeah, I'm pretty confident. At the time I was pretty confident that we could finish the job off, maybe get a win, a draw. It doesn't matter if we lose 1-0. Of course, I want to have a perfect record at the Krastovsky Stadium still. We are yet to be beaten at the Krastovsky Stadium, and yet to be drawn. We even have a draw on our home turf. So yeah, it would be great if we can have a victory as well, to keep that little run up. But if we get a draw, I'm not really fussed really. And of course, Alphonse Aliola, his first ever game in front of the home fans, so maybe he can get his first clean sheet for the club, and no better to do it than in Europa League and European knockout football. There's the team. It is exactly the same for this game. We need to make sure we get through to the round of 16. Of course, there are some big clubs still in there, the likes of Arsenal, disgraced champions Real Madrid, Olympique Lyonnais, Besiktas, AC Milan, Arsenal, you name it. So many big clubs in there. We come on to the end of the first half, where not much really happened, but all of a sudden Olympiacos are going forward. Fortunas has given it to Karim. Are they going to repeat what they did at the Olympiacos home ground? But Areola denies that opportunity, parries it away, and Olympiacos have a corner in the added time in the first half, and Nabilin is praising his goalkeeper there. We've got a corner kick for Olympiacos, headed away by Witzel. Surrey's got a chance here. Shatov's got the ball, and that's it, half time. And yeah, not much really happened in the first half, to be fair. Olympiacos defended in huge quantities of numbers. I think they actually had a back four and plus two of them midfielders to make almost a back six almost sometimes. Yeah, they clearly feel that they need to try and preserve, try and stop us scoring goals to finish the tie off, and it was 0-0 at that stage. We come on to the 51st minute. Paradas gives it to Druzy. Now Druzy passes it to Cochrane. Cochrane fighting up against the defenders of Olympiacos. Rigoni now twists and turns, gives the ball to Druzy and lays it to Shatov, who Shatov has a chance here. He's going to cross it all. He will try to go through to Druzy, but he doesn't. He gives it to Rigoni, and Rigoni has scored. Rigoni takes the lead. Rigoni scores, and Zenit St. Petersburg take the lead out the night at the second leg at the Krastovsky Stadium to make it 4-1 on aggregate, and that should probably kill the tie for Olympiacos. I've looked, as you could see, it was Parades originally. Shatov was trying to pass it to Parades, but went right through the defence and our attackers, but kindly, luckily, Rigoni was there in space and manages to put it away. Emil Rigoni's second goal of the Europa League, and we lead 1-0 here at the Krastovsky Stadium against Olympiacos. And on aggregate, as you can see at the bottom there, we lead 4-1. And there it is, that's the end of the second half, and Zenit St. Petersburg advance to the round of 16 of the UEFA Europa League. The fans in jubilation, one step closer to glory for Zenit St. Petersburg. We're getting there slowly. But after destroying the Greek champions Olympiacos, in fair truth, this game was a lot more tougher. They defended very, very well in many respects. It was hard to break them down and create chances. But when we had a chance, we did take it. And we will win 1-0 against Olympiacos to progress to the knockout stages of the Europa League. Now, from that high of European football, we will return to the Russian Premier League action at still at the Krastovsky Stadium, where we will be hosting bottom club Amkar Prem. Now, I think this is a great opportunity to rest the first team and give the secondary team a chance for their first game in quite a long time actually. I think they've been on quite a run of continuous games in the league. As you can see there, we are top of the league quite comfortably, 47 points, a bit of a gap over FC Krasnodar and on the Moscow clubs of CSKA and Lokomotiv and Spartak Moscow. A player debut today, Emre Tazmir, has been signed. I don't know who from. It's either from Besiktas or maybe Burnley, as it says BUR. It could be either of those clubs. But yeah, Amkar Prem on a bit of a high. They actually won their first game of the entire season right at the very end of the first half of the Russian Premier League before the winter break. They won 2-1 at home against FC Krasnodar, so that's no mean feat. So I'm pretty sure they'll be looking forward to continue their good form, it seems. We put on this, as you can see, there's a secondary team there, and there is Chernov, the left back, number 3. He came back on loan, brought him back on loan from his long loan spell at Tosno to be in the Nabilin's place in the secondary team. We come on to the 26th minute now. Great start so far, really going for it. Panyakov leads it for Polos, and Zenit St. Petersburg take the lead. And Polos is the first man to score Zenit St. Petersburg's first Premier League goal of 2018 in-game. At the perfect start, past 27 minutes, great pass from Panyukov, trying to resist so much of the defence. He somehow manages to pick out Polos in that scramble of players there, who are all trying to get the ball with defenders of Amkar Prem. But Polos manages to finish it when the ball came to him. And we're absolutely delighted that the secondary team have got off to the perfect start, and Polos has scored his second goal in the Russian Premier League, and we lead Amkar Prem by 1-0. We come on to the 35th minute now. Emre has done a great through ball to Bodal, and Bodal's got space here to cross it in. He's twisting and turning and has given it to Oja, and a level. Amkar Prem have levelled the game. Oh goodness me, I didn't expect that. Odejo, whatever his name, Oja, has levelled the game for Amkar Prem, and the players go to celebrate with the away supporters. And incredibly, and Lodgkin can't believe it either, I'm sure, as the home fans, Amkar Prem level at the Krastovsky Stadium. Great finish from Odejo there. sensational finish in such a tight angle. The keeper just couldn't quite get a touch there with his left glove. And Odejar, incredibly, has got Amkar Prem back in the game. I think that was our first attack of the entire first half. Incredible. He's got his fourth goal in the Russian league for Fergie Odejar. And Amkar Prem level here against Zenit St. Petersburg. Well, could this be the day that maybe we might not be beaten, but could this be the first time in the career mode that we will have a home draw, end our 100% winning record here at the Krastovsky Stadium? And there is half-time. Very surprised to see Amkar Prem level with their first attack in the match. I was very, very disappointed that they've scored with their first attack in the match. We haven't had many chances in all respects to Amkar Prem. They defended resolutely well, apart from the chance we scored in that stage. I'm quite disappointed. And there goes, and on the second half highlights right at the very end. An extreme disappointment for Zenit St. Petersburg. Extreme delight, I'm sure, for Amkar Prem. Not only they beat Krasnodar on their home ground, they've gone and drawn away at the Krastovsky Stadium at the league leaders Zenit St. Petersburg. An absolute disaster for the secondary team. That will surely blow their confidence. And Amkar Prem become the first team to end our 100% winning record at the Krastovsky Stadium, and also become the first club this season that we will not be able to get maximum points from. We had a draw away at Amkar Prem, and Amkar Prem have had a draw at our home ground. It's finished 1-1 at the Krastovsky Stadium. Let's have a look at the Russian Premier League there. Even though we had that unfortunate draw, let's say, against Amkar Prem, we're still top with 14 wins, 6 draws, still yet undefeated. 36 goals, not the best defensive record in the league, but we have conceded 10 goals. Still the best defence in the league. We have 48 points, a 7-point lead over FC Krasnodar, who is second with 41 points. Lokomotiv Moscow, a third with 39 points. They have the best defensive record in the league with 37 goals scored. 15 goals scored, the second best defensive record in the league on 39 points. The reigning champions Lokomotiv Moscow, Spartak Moscow are fourth with 33 points, a point ahead of Dynamo Moscow, who are now into the top 5. They're doing brilliantly, they are, with 18 goals conceded. I think that's the fourth best defence in the league. CSK Moscow are sixth with 26 points, same points as FC UFA, who have still the third best goal difference in the league in terms of best defensive record in the league. Quite remarkable for them. Rubik Kazan is 8th with 26 points, and they need to pick up their form quite quickly, but are getting closer to the top 6. FC Tosno and Rostov are 9th and 10th with 24 points. Anzi Makanella is 11th with 24 points as well. Atmak Grozny is 12th with 21 points, a point ahead of FC Ural, who are 13th with 20 points. They're 2 points in front of Arsenal Tula, who are 14th with 18 points. SK Khabarovsky have 2 wins and 9 draws, conceded 31 goals, but they're only 3 points behind Arsenal Tula with 15 points. Amkar Prem have picked up a point at Zenit St. Petersburg. They're still bottom, but they have 9 points on the table. And as you can see, let's have a look at the Europa League knockout stages. Big ties. We, Zenit St. Petersburg, will be facing Olympique de Marseille of France, of course, last season's Europa League finalists against Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid will be hosting Hoffenheim of Germany. Besiktas, the Turkish champions, will be hosting Olympique Lyonnais of France. Arsenal will be hosting Spanish side Villarreal. Lokomotiv Moscow, the only other Russian club in European competition at the moment, will be against Italian giants AC Milan. Napoli, who of course went out in the Champions League group stages, will be up against French side Bordeaux. German side, surprisingly, Hertha Berlin will be up against SC Lazio of Italy, and Ajax, the 2017 Europa League finalists, will be hosting Spanish side Athletic Bilbao. So some big ties there. I expect the likes of Real Madrid, Arsenal, maybe Besiktas, AC Milan and Napoli, and maybe Lazio or Ajax to progress to those rounds, and maybe us against Marseille, who knows. But that's going to be a tough job, Marseille. We've got some good players, particularly that had to stand out, obviously, is Dimitri Payet, who of course is a free kick wonder, is a free kick wizard. Not just for Marseille, but for West Ham United in the past. We come on to the preview in the next episode, and as you can see, yep, it's going to be a double header in the Europa League in the next episode. We will be, first of all, hosting Olympique de Marseille at the Krastovsky Stadium before we will have an away fixture in Russian Premier League action against FC Rostov. I'm sure that'll be a tough task. Before then, we will round off the episode with the away fixture at the Orange Velodrome against Olympique de Marseille. So yeah, that's going to be a good episode for Europa League, as well as the game against Rostov there. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe for this series. See you next time.